Here's how to change the oil in a Honda CRF150F. This is the 2003 to 2005 model. The newer ones are a little different, but similar concept. The oil drain plug is here under the engine. The easy way to get to it is just to grab it with a 24mm socket from the side. Now I know that most socket sets that you buy don't have a 24mm socket, so if you don't have one, you either go buy one or you take off this bolt, and this bolt to remove the skid plate, and then you can get a crescent wrench or some other kind of big wrench under it and just grab onto it from the bottom. But the skid plate is in the way if you don't remove it. So we're going to do it with a socket, the easy way. And you should watch this whole video because there are a few important points in here that if you don't follow will screw up your engine. So here we go. Now the oil fill hole is behind the Kickstarter on the right side of the engine, so we're just going to open this up. Just unscrew it so it's sitting in there loose so that air can get in there when the oil is draining out the other side. Alright, so to prepare to catch the oil, I've put a drain pan underneath the bike, and then I put foil over the frame rails. Whenever I have a bike where oil's going to get all over it and I'm going to have to clean it up, I just put some aluminum foil on there and build a little channel that's going to drain down into the drain pan. And get your socket wrench on it. Turn it counterclockwise. And there goes the oil. So the plug comes off and there's a spring in there that we'll want to return back when we put it back together. That was pretty dirty. Now if we look inside the hole, this is what passes for an oil filter. Is this little gauze screen here. So you just want to check it, make sure it's clean and take out any chunks. That's what's neat about the design of this bike. It was designed to be super cheap and easy to maintain. And of course, if you do see any chunks in your strainer, that's indication that there's something terribly wrong inside your engine, especially if they're big chunks. So that's going to be your first clue that you need to get in there and fix something. So once I've cleaned that up, you've got the filler cap, the spring, and the filter. And you take that whole apparatus, shove it in the hole, and then torque it down to 11 foot-pounds. I've read some people that have said they do it to 15 foot-pounds of torque. This is one of those important things that you don't want to screw up. It's good if you have a torque wrench because you don't want to put too much torque on it and rip the threads out. If you have put too much torque on it and stripped your threads, I'll put a link in the description of the video to how I fixed that on my other bike. Alright, there we go. Get in your hole. So we just put it all together in there as a unit, and just make sure as you're watching it go in that everything looks like it went in smooth. Alright, and then I just finished the job off with the torque wrench, looking for about 11 to 15 foot-pounds. Alright, then on the other side of the bike I've made a hideous funnel out of foil, but it works. Couldn't find my regular funnel. So you want to put oil in it. It takes a little more than a quart. So I would recommend putting a quart in it and then firing it up and letting the oil run around, and then do a final check of your oil level. I'm putting 10W30 in it. That's what they recommend. So this is the second important part that a lot of people screw up, so you want to pay attention here. This is your dipstick. The high mark here is where you want your oil level to be when the engine's warmed up. So the way that you check it, and a lot of people screw this part up, so the way you check it is you put the dipstick in and then you don't screw it down. You just put it in but not screwed down. So that means it's about 1/4 of an inch sticking out of the hole. A lot of people will screw it all the way down to check the oil level, and then their oil level is always low. I have two Hondas and they're both like this. So you put the dipstick in like that, stand the bike upright, and then pull it out and check the level on the stick. And if it's at the full line, then you're good.